Life in show business may seem glamorous, and it's certainly lucrative for the stars, but it's a hard one for the vast majority of performers, particularly without employment rights. The bright lights of Theatreland are a beacon to those seeking fame as a performer. But as they say, fame costs, and this is where you start paying. That payoff is often in terms of legal protection, or the lack of it. And with so many performers at large, there's a lot of demand for legal advisors to those treading the boards.
As we go about the everyday tasks associated with litigation, it's crucial to be aware of the professional conduct pitfalls which can trip up the unwary, such as transferring or mailing of documents, answering phone calls or receiving instructions. It's vital to recognise the warning signs and take appropriate action at the right time. Otherwise, before you realise it, an everyday scenario could become a serious incident.
Well, after a few days of surveillance, the barn was raided, and lo and behold, what was found was a rather large quantity of chemicals. Now, the prosecution said those chemicals were used as an integral part of the production process for amphetamine sulfate. But the observations had also revealed that on the day before the raid, Mr. Hoare had driven down to Streatham and handed a box to Mr. Pearce. That box had turned out also to contain amphetamine sulfate, and as a result of that, both defendants were arrested.
Certain forms of maltreatment on animals in order to forward science, and medical science in particular, well, once again, they are going to be termed, and they already are, they're calling them terrorists. Well, let's look at, shall we, those people who wish to ride their horses out in breach of the law, pursuing foxes round the countryside, and they are threatening force by doing so. Are we going to term them terrorists? Well, these are all the interesting problems that arise.
It may be difficult for law-abiding retailers to make sure their staff are aware of their obligations. As far as the local authorities are concerned, there are differences in their duties for alcohol enforcement compared to those for tobacco.
In relation to the sale of cigarettes, the local authority has to consider a program to enforce the provisions every 12 months.
The decision in Hoare and Pearce makes life for practitioners very difficult in terms of knowing how best to advise their clients at the police station. It's now clearly established that the mere fact that the lawyer advises their client not to answer questions will not prevent inferences from being drawn at trial.